It's a little Pavlov Scalar. I believe I pronounced that correctly to start the evening. Tyson, how you doing?
I'm good. I am good.
Have a good week?
I did have a good week. I learned that we are able to go live on TikTok, so that's always a good week.
Live on TikTok. Hi, TikTok. You probably don't hear me, but hi anyway.
They don't hear me either because I'm not live.
Oh, well,
I'm still trying to figure it out.
way
I gotta
to
wait for a second.
way to make me look like an idiot there. Great.
But hey, TikTok, once you get in here, you can. I'm sure you can rewind it so you'll hear things. I don't know. We'll see.
And I just realized we didn't title the stream.
Oh, there you go. I thought that was maybe the case,
TKO.
but
TKO. Fuck around, find out.
we'll do it live.
Go ahead. Just how was your week?
Well, while we're talking about that, I had a good week. Nothing overly exciting happened, unfortunately. I always look for stuff to happen during the week, but nothing happened this week. So that's always a thing. A lot of wrestling this week, though. That's always something. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of wrestling. Golly, it's like a hey, just keep up if you can. Now, obviously, you don't have to watch it all, but if one were to,
Yeah, we
always
have
check that out.
Raw, SmackDown, got Money in the Bank, and got a little bonus. Some worlds collide. Some lucha.
Lucha Libre.
And let's go ahead and jump into Raw. We are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They recapped last week with Rollins winning the qualifier, and the bronze helped Rollins, and then Dom, of course, fucked over Balor, and Punk GTS'd Rollins, and at the end of Raw, and that closed out the show. And then our walkers were Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Zayn and Uso are facing the Bronze later, and then Rollins' group walked after that. And then Punk came out, and he talked about stupid basketball because Oklahoma is in the finals. I think they lost, so good job, Punk.
It's only game one.
Well, whatever. And he wants to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase for a third time, and it's the Summer of Punk, and he wants to be champion again. And if Punk cashes in on Uso, it's just business. If Punk cashes in on Cena, he's coming to pick the bones. And then he calls Cena a little bitch. And then Sami Zayn interrupts, tells Punk tonight is must win for Punk. And he says he and Uso will take care of the bronze. And Punk says, well, I have your back for that. And then Zayn says, no, you need to focus on winning this match. And if Rollins wins the briefcase, it'll ruin wrestling. And he tells Punk he wants him to win Money in the Bank. And if Punk ends up winning the Money in the Bank and the belt, they'll be face to face and they'll be talking about something else. And Punk's going to look forward to that.
Nice little start, I guess.
I guess. Like they're still trying to put the fear of God with this Rollins team, but I don't know.
I like how they're doing the balance of power thing. Like, this is all the power relies on this moment.
But, okay. So we got girl bullshit after that. Liv was cunty to Perez and EO backstage.
I actually don't remember this segment, so
So we got a girl match after that. Vakur got a mini documentary before her entrance, so naturally she won.
yes, she did.
And
That is match number 1 of the week for her.
Yes, she had triple duty.
No, quadruple.
She wrestled on SmackDown, didn't she?
Yeah, Raw, SmackDown, Worlds Collide, and Money in the Bank. Both on one night.
There you go. Then we had AJ Styles backstage. She's just kind of standing there jiggling. And then Paul Heyman interrupts. Heyman tells Styles to focus on Dominic and the IC title and leave Money in the Bank to Rollins. Well, Styles tells Heyman to go fuck himself. And then Gable wasted some time. He said the Thunder are losing their basketball game. And then he's going to win tonight. And then he's going to win at AAA.
Well, he wasn't wrestling at AAA. You mean he was going to...
He did wrestle at AAA.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Yep. You're right.
Then we got a Rusev promo. It's probably the highlight of... Well, 2 highlights of Raw. I said, Sheamus, how dare you? I'm trying to fix the weak and prevent them from slipping into the abyss. Last week you came out to help a stranger, yet when I needed you back then, you let me vanish. Do not mistake the man I was for the force I am, Sheamus. I am the son of thunder. You are weak now. Or you are the weak one now. You have a body of granite but a neck of sand. And you're challenging the one man with the one move that can end you? I went away because you stabbed my back. Stay out of my way unless I stab yours. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah.
Then we had Sheamus and the Losers Club backstage. Sheamus pumped up the Losers. And he said life outside of WWE lasted just as long as Rusev Day. 24 hours. I'm sorry. Rusev's life after WWE lasted just as long as Rusev Day. 24 hours. And Sheamus doesn't like Rusev going after the little guys, despite the fact that this all started with a match against Otis. And Rusev provoking Otis. And Sheamus says he bullies bullies now.
Which I thought was a good line. I bully bullies. Stuff I say.
Then we have Balor and McTurd. They beat the Viking Bikers. Perez helped. And I guess they're number 1 contenders now.
I don't know if they are, but yes, they are back on the winning side of things.
Well, they made it seem like, because New Day was like, oh, we got JD and McTurd to worry about. So they made it seem like they're number 1.
Oh, there was a funny moment on this match, though. JD, there was a moment where he got knocked like off the apron, and he oversold it and flipped onto the commentary table. And then Xavier Woods like, "Oh, we need a medic out here. He could be out again." I don't know. It was just funny because, a callback to when he impaled himself, essentially.
Yeah. Seth's husband cut a promo. I skipped it on Raw, but if it was anything like what they replayed on the hype video, Money in the Bank, it was a good promo. But I didn't watch it because I don't care.
There you go.
And then we had the New Day backstage. They're talking to Grayson Waller. They say Austin Theory's holding it back. And Waller should leave Theory. Ditch the little... Well, he's not Australian. Waller's Australian. But ditch that little geek. And his stupid vest. And Gable and his losers interrupt. Embry brothers say, New Day said brothers stick together. And Kofi's like, no, I said brothers. The Embry brothers are like, I don't get it. New Day try to get Gable's losers to take out Balor and McTurd. And Gable and his losers tell New Day to fuck off. Embry brothers they're like, we're taking those titles. Like, okay. Gable says New Day sucks. Then we got a girl interview. Ripley congratulated Vakur.
Already teasing a major match. Maybe they do it at, I don't know if they're going to do it at Worlds Collide, but I'm sorry, Evolution. But yeah, we got a tease for a WrestleMania level match already. The goons are split down the middle, whether it be Steph.
You're muted. You're muted. All right. Well, yeah, we got Stephanie Vakur and Rhea Ripley to look forward to some point down the line. And we are just all sorts of technical difficulties this evening. I'm just going to go ahead and move on. So we got the ugly NXT chick. She said some shit. Seth's husband came out. They fought a little bit. No big deal. And we had a Penta promo. I think he was excited about Money in the Bank. Couldn't understand a goddamn word he said, though. So there's that. Then we had the Bronze versus Uso and Zayn. Ended in a disqualification. Rollins had to come out and curb stomp Uso on the entrance ramp. And then they go to put Sammy through the announce desk. Punk comes out with a chair.
Still muted.
There you go.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know. But don't do it again. Anything to say about all the shit I said? You were talking about Vakur and Ripley.
Oh, the wrestling world is split on who they're going to goon over more, Stephanie or Rhea Ripley, because those are the two leading goon candidates. Some would have you believe Roxanne Perez might be a goon candidate, but she's not. Only one goon for her, and he's already taken care of.
He's out of the equation.
Yeah, he won't be gooning where he's at.
That's fair. Yeah, that should be a good match. After the Worlds Collide, I think I'm a Vakur fan. Too bad she has to wrestle WWE girls.
Yeah, there is that.
So yeah, then Seth's husband, or I'm sorry, ugly NXT chick, and Seth's husband got into it. Anything to say about that?
No, it's just a good promo, but
cool.
It just led into what they were gonna, just a preview for later.
We have Penta.
Okay.
So we have the Bronze versus Uso and Zayn. Ended in disqualification. Rollins had to come out and curb stomp Uso on the entrance ramp, so the Bronze didn't lose. Big badass Bronze. And they go to put Sammy through a table, and Punk comes out with a chair, and the bad guys run off. Jey Uso was completely fine after the curb stomp on the entrance ramp, by the way. He's just casually waiting to fight some more.
Well, it's the guy who's going to tap out Gunther again.
If he taps out Gunther again. Judgment Day backstage, Morgan calls, she's calling out Balor about Perez. Says, I know exactly what you're doing. Balor says Liv is just frustrated because she's been losing and everything's fine. Liv gives Balor a strategy. Dom apologizes for fucking over Balor.
More riff. And no Carlito. That's the biggest thing to take away. Not only was there no Carlito, there was no PlayStation either. Because, he was always playing the PlayStation. But we
Who knew
got
that was
word
his?
that. Oh, he
I
took
thought
it
our
with
Truth
him?
was playing that before Carlito got there.
No, because Liv got it when she was trying to.
That's right. You're right.
So yeah,
So
he was
Carlito
playing that
stole
PlayStation.
Dominic's gift. That's
But
not.
yeah, we
Ooh.
got word that Carlito, uh, his contract is expiring and he won't get renewed. So essentially, he is no longer with the company. So that's why he wasn't back there. And Dom had a Carlito shirt and support, I guess.
Good deal. Well, then we had a girl match. Kari Sane beat No Definition Rodriguez. And that's, don't worry, Kari's not getting a push. It's just to further the stupid Liv Morgan bullshit. Because now it's going to be, well, you should have listened to Balor. Perez should have been out there to help.
Yeah. Now EO did come out and help, so maybe there's going to be a tag team match there. I
I
don't know.
thought she just came out to like cheer. I don't think she really helped. She got her hair pulled.
Apparently, she helped enough.
Fair enough. We got Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Sami yells and wants to know what Kross's issue is. Kross says Sami's a liar and he should have been champion 10 times, but Sami needs to be the bad guy or something. And Sami says, no, I don't. And they just kind of left it at that. Then we had a Julia promo, same exact shit as last week, so not high on her. And then we had Jey Uso and Gunther backstage. Jay's just kind of sitting there stewing as he does, and Gunther walks up to him, and they're in the locker room, right? Gunther is like, oh, I come in peace. And he sits down next to Jay, and he says, I appreciate that you want to be a good champion, and I see how hard you're trying, but you're fighting with your heart instead of your head, and that's why I'm going to take the title from you. You're selfless in a selfish business. Sami needed you, and 1 week from our mat or 1 week from Money in the Bank, what happened? You're going in not at 100%, and I know you're going to help Punk tonight. You and I both know that, and that's before you face me. And you're going to be in a tag match this Saturday just to please Cody. And none of that is any of the business of a world heavyweight champion. And when I lost, I knew I'd get the title back. But you're just making this so much easier. And then he says the party's over. And then, Jay just says, tap, because that's all he has. He just has he has the arm bobs. And he has the, let me do the second entrance again. And then he has the broken promo that just leads up to yeet. And then he has tap. So there's that.
And he's going to make Gunther tap again.
However, this was a fantastic Gunther, if you want to call it promo. I enjoyed it. I think he's a lot better than when he's like on a live microphone, when he's just calmly having a conversation, or I don't know. It was good shit.
Yeah, when he doesn't get interrupted by the fans.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or he just has time to collect himself. I don't know. He doesn't have the voice. He doesn't have a voice that like you shout and project yourself. He has one of those voices that speaks softly and you gotta listen. You gotta lean in.
Like, bring it in. That's too close. We'll be back a little bit.
But yeah, it was good stuff from Gunther at least. Jay is still a cartoon. And then Gable won the qualifier. Everyone came out to create a clusterfuck. Rollins group beats the shit out of Sammy, Uso, and Punk after the match.
To the surprise of everybody, that CM Punk wasn't in the Money in the Bank, especially after all that buildup about he has to be in the Money in the Bank.
Yes.
AJ Styles, I don't think he ever really had a chance
Nope.
because he's not really factoring into being a world champion in any way. But yeah, the Punk thing was surprising.
A little bit, yeah. So we'll just have to see. Because Punk failed. Sammy failed. And Rollins won. But that was Raw. Let's go ahead and jump to SmackDown. Unless do you want to close out Raw?
No, it's kind of a nothing show.
It was.
As usually the go home shows are.
They tried. I'll give them that. But yeah, there wasn't anything to it. But SmackDown, we are in Bakersfield, California. Walkers are Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Stephanie McCool, Naomi, Julia, Perez, Rollins group. There's a convoluted girls match at some point. And then Rollins came out. He's going to have absolute power when he wins Money in the Bank. Says that includes Raw and SmackDown. Anyone gets in our way, it's over for them. No one can stop him. And Solo, Fatu, and Jacob Cobb interrupt. They talk shit back and forth. Rollins group leaves. Jimmy attacks. And then Jeff Cobb and Jimmy Uso have a match. Jeff Cobb lost to the other Uso. Solo and Fatu tried to help, but Jimmy is too good. And then Fatu and Cobb argued after the match.
So I really liked the opening to this segment. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any further push on that, but I don't know. And I think this is like the second time they've done it, but the Breaker Fatu stare down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy. First we got Sheamus and Rusev. Now we got Breaker and Fatu. Like, so much meat going around.
I just don't understand why Solo's coming out. Like, you're a loser.
Well, it's kind of a mirror group. Well, it was. Now it's not anymore.
Spoilers?
Yeah.
You didn't even let me get to the part of the segment, or the SmackDown segment. You overzealous son of a bitch. I don't know about Cobb losing so soon, and I don't know. He kind of looked like he had a competitive match against the lesser Uso, and didn't like it.
That's Big Jim right there.
Fuck that shit.
He's supposed to, I don't know. They treat him like I don't know. They're trying to get him to connect with the crowd. They're trying for him, but he doesn't have Yeet, so that's gonna really count against him. If only you had a Yeet
or some sort of song that had a singable part to it.
Yes, yeah, he needs a Yeet. Too bad.
So we had some girl bullshit. It was Julia and Vega. I forget what they did.
So Vega was walking out to her match, and Julia said that she is interested in her title. Please hurry up and get it off of Vega. I'm sure she's great, though.
Oh, yeah.
That being Vega. Remember when people thought that was a good idea?
We have Priest and Fatu backstage. Priest tells Fatu he understands what he's going through with the family shit and all that. And Priest still wants Fatu's title, though. And Fatu says if Priest can't beat him, it's back of the line with it. Yada I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Then we had a girls' match. Vega beat Piggy Niven.
Hold on, I got you here.
Oh, go ahead.
So it was a, where were they again? California. Where were they?
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. It was a Bakerfield's brawl because they always, now they put the name in the brawl. So it was a Bakerfield brawl. Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. If you're keeping track, this now, since she's won the title, pits Zelina Vega versus some kind of Chelsea Greens group every week since then. And so this is now since like April. She's been feuding with these people. Piper Niven controlled the early of the match, as she should, because she's
100,000 pounds.
more than Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, she routed a comeback. There were some chairs involved. There were some kendo sticks involved. There was a chain involved. Overall, the match was boring, as you would, because Zelina Vega was in there and Piper Niven. So you can imagine how the match would have went there. But towards the end of the match, we have Piper Niven. She places Zelina Vega on a chair. I'm sorry, on a table. And she's going to go do the Vader splash. One can only assume because she was going up backwards. She wasn't going to do a moonsault, so that could be the only thing she was going to do. All of a sudden, out comes Julia, because remember, she said that she was wanting the title from Zelina Vega. So she comes out and she helps Zelina Vega by attacking Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. But wait a minute, didn't she heal? Well, let's not get caught up in the semantics here. So the babyface now, Julia, attacks them. This distraction causes Zelina Vega to get up, and she's now trying to powerbomb Piper Niven through the table. Julia, she gets one of those kendo sticks, and she hits Piper Niven not once but twice. This breaks Piper Niven's grip, and then Zelina Vega musters up enough power to put Piper Niven through the Slim Jim sponsored table for the 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, Slim Jim sponsored table. Oh, by the way, even Joe Tessitore on commentary said, "Through the table, the Slim Jim sponsored table."
You got to really get that in there, huh?
Yes, or no, he said, "Through the table, brought to you by Slim Jim," or something like that. Now, we did see a story. I didn't write it down in the stories. I saw the thing that WWE was gonna, put sponsors on the tables under the ring. The thing was AI generated, so I didn't. That's why we didn't do like an actual story on it. But sure enough, we saw that, and then here we are. The table is sponsored by Slim Jim, and that was really the highlight of the match. Post match, Julia attacked Zelina Vega, setting up that she's really going after the title now. But just another piece of the pie, another piece of the sponsorship.
Well, it's a good thing they only relegated that to the girls' match on SmackDown, and we won't see that on a main pay-per-view.
Yes. Now, where does it stop? Is the question. Because there's a new story out. Now, this one's from Dave Meltzer, but he's been on point, kind of. So we can go ahead and mention it. According to Dave Meltzer, sponsorships are going to make their way to the wrestlers themselves. like their actual gear is gonna. We're gonna start seeing sponsors on their gear, like UFC.
Why?
Money.
Oh, okay.
So so they're in bed with like Slim Jim and Dude Wipes and oh this that and the other. So we're gonna start seeing those sponsors on the gear itself.
Well, whatever, man. The world heavyweight champion's a cartoon anyway, so
I'm just telling you, they're gonna squeeze that onion or squeeze that lemon. It's bone dry. And this, by the way, so there was a lot of our truth chants in this match, and throughout SmackDown and throughout Raw, because at this point, our truth uh,
has been
had been
fired.
released. Yes. So fans, on top of that, and now we got the advertisements. Fans are really starting to, you know, revolt against it. Like first you fire truth, now you got these fucking advertisements everywhere. Like when's enough's enough? Like you really like I don't know. You're really testing our loyalty here.
Well, we had Cody, Jay, and Jimmy backstage. Everyone's worried about Jay. Jay's just focused on Money in the Bank.
Good for him.
Then we had Aleister Black promo. He's still sore at LA Knight, and he wants a one-on-one match with Knight. And if Knight wins, Black will shake his hand and admit he's the better man. Then we had LA Knight versus Aleister Black, and this honestly might have been the best match of the whole fucking week. Knight cut a promo before the match, said he's winning, not only this match, but Money in the Bank. And Rollins interrupted this fucking masterpiece of a match to curb stomp Knight for a disqualification. Like, I really wanted them to just keep going.
Yeah, they really brought it.
They brought it. It was competitive looking. It wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't a whole bunch of flippity flops. They put in 110%. And then Black got in Rollins' face, and he got speared and tossed out of the ring like a piece of shit. And then Rollins groove kicked Knight's ass.
And this is how much of a professional Aleister Black is, because when he confronted Rollins, this was a callback to basically his whole character back from when Rollins took his eye during the pandemic era, the Thunderdome era, and when he was faced off with Seth Rollins, he was rubbing his eye, so he hasn't forgotten.
There you go.
So that chapter is going to have to be revisited.
And then we had Pierce and Aldis. They previewed King of the Ring, and I guess the finals are going to be in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions.
I think so, just like last year. So
Okay.
we can already assume that Punk's not going to be in the King of the Ring, or if he is, he's not winning.
Why did I think it was a separate pay-per-view last year? I thought Night of Champions was when Gunther and Cody faced each other.
No, the King of the Ring was its own pay per view,
Right.
but it was in Saudi.
Right.
I think it was in Saudi.
Right. Yeah, it was. But they said that the finals of King of the Ring is going to be at Night of Champions in Saudi.
So yeah, they're not doing the pay per view. They're just doing the tournament.
Okay. So okay. And then the winner gets a shot at somebody at title SummerSlam.
Yeah, it'll probably be like last year. So if whoever wins from their respective brand will get the title match on that brand. So, uh, like if a SmackDown person wins it, they're gonna get the title match against Cena, and then if a Raw person wins it, they'll get a title match against whoever the champion happens to be. I say it that way because, yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Gotcha. We had a girl interview. Jay's winning the girl tournament, and then that's what she said. And then that's what she said. Then Charlotte and Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton interrupted. So then they just talk some shit. Whatever. Then we had the evil Mexicans. They're excited for AAA. Worlds collide. Escobar's goons seem to the was it Humberto? Is it
Afro.
Humberto?
What about it? Afro, sorry.
It's all good. The evil Mexicans. They had a promo. They're excited for AAA. The one that looks like a supermodel. Telenovela.
Well, the shorter one or the taller one, because they're both kind of ravishing gentlemen.
Well, I'm talking about the one with the hair. It's all feathered and shit.
The short hair or the long hair?
It's a short hair.
Oh, that's Humberto. I mean, Angel Garza he's a looker too now.
Don't
He's no slouch himself.
don't make it weird.
He might be better looking. Let's break it down. Just kidding.
Anyway, he
Which
seems to
one
be
would you? Yeah, okay.
he seems to be all in with the evil Mexican group now. So there's that. He's not pouting. Then we got Gable and his losers. Gable's going to win his 2 matches on Saturday. Andrade interrupted, spoke in tongues. Gable kept saying "C," and then Andrade started talking shit to him. And then Penta interrupted, a lot more gibberish. Gable gets pissed. Somehow Penta and Andrade end up facing the Inbreed brothers.
Yeah, don't know. It's funny because now we're on SmackDown, and Penta's brother happens to work on SmackDown, but here we are teaming with Andrade. So
He was
I
nowhere to
guess
be seen.
yeah, I guess they're still. Uh, and I thought, well, when we get to the match, I thought he was going to come out at that point, but he still didn't.
Well, I thought at the very least we'd have like a little stare down.
Or
C.
or some kind of something.
But no. We had some girl bullshit. Stratton said some shit. Ripley came out. Then a bunch of girls came out. Then we had a girl match. Ripley got the pin. Perez ate everybody's move, and it looked stupid. She just twirled into everybody's shit. It was fake.
Match number 2 for Stephanie Becker. So she's 2 for 2 on the night or on the weekend. On the week. There we go.
There you go. We had Solo and Cobb backstage. Cobb's still pissed at Fatu. He's like, he's the problem. And Solo says, it's all good. Fatu's running my playbook. And Cobb asks if Fatu's really following Solo. And Solo says Fatu's, what is he? He's all gas, no brains. And Solo has it all under control. He looked around. He looked around before he said all of that. Kind of looked around, looked past Jeff Cobb, looked over his shoulder. He's all gas, no brains. But didn't matter. Because who should step around the corner? The Samoan werewolf. And he did not look happy.
Yeah. Kind of like that that moment when Batista was around the corner listening to Triple H.
I thought it was kind of interesting, though, that he didn't just go after them. Just his character. He's all gas, no brakes.
Oh, he was making a plan.
That's brakes, then gas.
That is.
And then we got a spooky Bray Dallas tape. The Sucks are going to go after the tag titles. And then after that, the tag teams argue in the back. And Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns want the Sucks first. So there's that. Fraxium was like, well, we're undefeated. So we should get them first. All right, have at it.
Yes, they seem to all be rallying around each other. It's like, this is bigger than the tag team division. We need to take care of them. So everybody's going after the Wyatts.
At least it's the tag division and nothing important.
Well, they'll be champions soon enough. I wonder. I wonder which members of the group are gonna delve into the tag team division. That's the question.
It'll be it'll probably be Rowan and Loomis. Or they could just do the Freebird rule.
That would be better.
That'd be interesting. That'd be something. Well, they had Penta and Andrade. They beat the Inbreed brothers somehow. I didn't watch the match because I didn't care. Penta and Andrade got attacked after that by Rollins' group that has no name still.
Yes, they don't have a name, and they were asked directly, "What's the name?" And they don't have a name. Seth Rollins was on. I think Seth Rollins and The Miz. I think they're like, well, Seth Rollins already said as much, but they're trying to transition to like sports. Seth Rollins was on some lady's show, and they were taking fan questions, and the fan asked specifically, "What's the group's name?" And he said, "Oh, well, why don't you tell me?" And then so they threw around some names. So he didn't answer the question. He just reacted to other people saying names.
They have names in sports. Legion of Boom, Steel Curtain.
No, I'm saying he didn't. He didn't reveal a name. He just said, "Well, what's our? You tell us what the name is." So he was just reacting to other people saying names. Oh no, maybe they just don't know yet. That being
Okay.
creative. But someone did say on that name throwing out session, someone said the Revolution, which is probably the best I heard of those names that were thrown out.
Well, after the ass kicking of Penta and Andrade, Heyman cut a promo. And he says they're the future. Rollins is awesome. He's going to win Money in the Bank and cash in whenever he feels like it. Then Cody interrupted. Tells Rollins tells the Bronze to stand down, and he gets in Cody's face. And Jey Uso comes out through the crowd. And if Rollins' group like really wanted to, they could have fucked up Cody like so bad in the time it took Jay to get to the ring.
Especially because he was doing his full entrance.
Yes.
Like he was in no hurry.
Jesus Christ. And I don't know if it was my feed, but Jay's entrance did it take 2 commercial breaks.
I don't know. I wouldn't
I
put it
felt
past him though.
I felt like he was in the crowd. They went to a commercial, and then he was either about to do the second one because, of course, he has to do the second one now. It was either before or after that. They went to another, or at least mine. Like it seemed like it went to a commercial.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. They usually do go to the commercial and then come back, and then he does the, and then they do play the song some more.
Ugh. Well, then Rollins' group, they ran away. Cody said, then he grabbed the mic. He said nothing. Jay acted like a cartoon and said yeet. Cena interrupted, and he's at the point where he just points to the little announcer geek, and then he gets his proper entrance. And then Logan Paul sneaks up from behind Jey Uso when Cena's getting introduced again, and he knocks Uso the fuck out. And he goes for Cody. Cody counters for a crossroads, and then Cena follows up by decking Cody. And Uso gets FU'd, and Cody gets pulverized by Logan Paul, sorry. And Logan Paul frog splashes Cody and Jay, and then Cody and Jay are rolled out of the ring like sacks of shit. And then Cena grabs the mic, says he's taking the title home. Logan Paul's winning Jay's title somehow, and they're going to destroy wrestling. And Logan Paul and Cena toss Jay and Cody back in the ring. Cody gets FU'd, Jay gets knocked out again. And then Cena talks some more shit. Crowd chants for R-Truth. That's the only time I noticed it. But
And this was probably the best part of it, because this was like, oh my God, they actually acknowledged it.
yeah.
So, because Cena was like, you can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
And then he said, you want truth? This is our truth. You know, I'm going to ruin wrestling, and I'm going to take this champion, the real world champion, home. And then he's going to take that championship to the top. And that's going to ruin wrestling.
And Logan Paul and Cena pose with the belts. And I have no idea why Logan Paul is posing with the title, since he, at this current stage, is in no way, shape, or form even remotely close to sniffing the title. So it just made no sense to me.
Well, I guess they got another plan for him.
He's going to face Jey Uso again? So is Jey Uso only going to face Gunther and Logan Paul until he loses?
No. I suspect something might be happening.
Well, that was SmackDown. Whatever.
I thought SmackDown was a lot better. I liked the weaving of Seth Rollins' group throughout the whole night.
Oh, yeah, it's great that we had 3 hours of them on Monday, and then they were interspersed into another 3-hour show.
Yeah, makes them, because it's the power. They're creating all the power in the company, so it's a takeover. Remember?
You know, Rollins has already had the title belt.
He has.
So how is him having the title belt a second time? How is that all of a sudden give him power? How is he going to do anything differently than what he did the first time?
Well, because now he has Paul Heyman, and you know, when Paul Heyman's involved, the championship is the most important thing.
He's going to wrestle less?
No, the championship is the most important thing.
Oh,
Like he,
okay.
you know, Paul Heyman actually makes the championship relevant when he's involved in a story. He doesn't just treat it as a prop.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Inglewood, California. Walkers are Cody and Jay. Then we had Logan Paul, Seth's husband. We had Liv Morgan and Dominic, Rollins' group, Alexa Bliss, who was trying her damnedest to look very serious. You had LA Knight, who was not selling Friday's Attack one bit. He was even smiling. I think he did the finger guns to somebody. There you have Ripley not wearing any makeup. And then there was a hype video, which was a proper hype video. Cena's ruining wrestling, Money in the Bank match. Seth's husband's challenging for the belt for the last time. It's a lot better than what we've been getting.
Yeah.
Then we had the girls' ladder match. Naomi won somehow. Okay.
You know what? I have to let it kind of stay at that because I came in towards the end of it, so I can't really give you a breakdown there.
Well, let me get a. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, Naomi won, indeed.
There you go. Let me get a Worlds Collide highlight. Dominic challenged at this point some dude. I didn't know who it was for his title. He made the challenge for his title belt. I mean, there you go. And then we had a Gunther and Jey Uso hype video. It's like the fourth or fifth time they've done this, so I'm still not excited for it. And then we had Dominic versus Octagon Jr. for the Intercontinental title. And at first I thought this was Kalisto, because I believe he went by Octagon Jr. as well. So I had all this thing like, oh, Kalisto, blah, 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 blah. But apparently it's some other dude. So it was like the first half of the match. But Dominic won with a frog splash with Liv Morgan's help. I went back and watched it. It was actually really good. Dominic could be something when they decide to book him like a man instead of, a cuck.
Well, yes, they do need to book him like a man. He's too busy, thirsting over his next. Well, not thirsting, but he's posting pictures of like Roxanne Perez on social media or liking her stuff. And then now all of a sudden he's got his eye on Mariah May or whatever her name is in WWE. He's like, he posted a picture of her and he was like, hear me out. So that's his next target, I guess.
I read something that her name was Mariah June. Please tell me that's bullshit.
That's just someone being funny.
Okay.
Because, May.
Yeah, that's and it's something that they would do. That's why I didn't immediately discredit it.
I've seen a couple things are going around. So there's that. There's I also saw Mariah April and Mariah Saints, because apparently she's the white blonde haired Mariah May is going to be the on-screen character to Ricky Saints.
Okay.
So says the news. I don't know what he is. So I think he's black. I don't know. So yeah, go figure that one out.
Well, let me. Yeah. So I was expecting Dominic just to get his ass kicked and like get a lucky move or something, but no, he actually put up a little bit of a fight. Now, to be fair, Octagon Jr. was not a large man at all. But yeah, just they need to book him better.
Yeah, I mean he's becoming a pretty good wrestler in himself.
He is. I don't know, something just clicked.
Probably trains his ass off with his dad.
I wouldn't be surprised. He seems to take the history and shit very seriously.
Yeah.
At least the lucha aspect of it. Gable and the Embry brothers were backstage. They're going to make sure Masked Gable wins via a cinnamon whiskey branded ladder.
Well, that's not Mass Gable. That is actually a different person, El Grande Americano. And yes,
I
they.
think you're focusing on the wrong part of this.
What? We got another sponsored thing? I mean, after the Slim Jim table, like, go ahead, sponsor everything.
I mean, it was mildly entertaining with the girls' match on TV, but this is the men's ladder match.
This is serious now.
Speaking of which, we had the other girls' match. Seth's husband won via roll up and a handful of tights, and then made ugly NXT chick raise her hand twice, then put the belt around her waist, and then that didn't sit well with the ugly NXT chick. She dropped Seth's husband, and it looked like she was crying, just writhing around in pain on the mat.
She may well have been, but uh, I would say their last match was better than this one. But uh, yeah, Becky Lynch pins Lyra Valkyria to become second Intercontinental Champion in history. The same Lyra Valkyria that earlier in the match kicked out of a uh, super manhandle slam from the second rope. So she kicked out of that, but that roll up was too much for her.
Well, then we had the men's ladder match. Rollins won, of course, with the Fireball whiskey ladder. The Bronze tried to help Rollins, and then Fatu and Cobb came out for Solo to help him. And Breaker speared Cobb through the barricade. Fatu Samoan dropped Reed, which was real awesome. And then he sent him over to the announce desk, which, of course, as we all know, that
The kryptonite.
And then Solo, he's on the floor. Fatu pulls him up, rolls him back in the ring. Fatu standing guard, making sure nobody gets to Solo. So Solo, he picks out a ladder. No, not that one. He picks out another ladder. No, not that one. That one. And they set it up. And Fatu, he's watching Solo's back, and Solo reaches up for the briefcase, and Fatu looks up, grabs Solo's ankle. Solo can't quite get the briefcase, and he looks down and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Fatu looks up, he goes, "I hate you." And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of Solo, and he rock bottomed him through a ladder. LA Knight put up a fight, but Rollins ultimately got the briefcase.
Much to the surprise of, well, I guess it was. You can understand, especially watching Raw and SmackDown, that they're really building around Seth Rollins having the briefcase. I just thought that one, LA Knight was going to win, but two, I thought that Punk or Roman or Sammy
Somebody.
or maybe all three of them. Yes, I thought someone was going to stop Rollins from getting the briefcase, but no, he was up there and he got it off of the what is it? Fireball whiskey ladder, of course.
I'm just
'Cause,
astonished that Punk, at the end of Raw, he took out Rollins, and he was nowhere to be seen on SmackDown or Money in the Bank.
yes.
And he said that Rollins will be champion over his dead body. So he didn't even try to prevent him from getting the briefcase.
Well, maybe he's holding off for a different time. Maybe he's holding off for the cash in.
I think creative sucks.
Well, there's that too. But I don't know. Maybe Rollins fails at the cash in, or maybe he doesn't.
What do you think about the Solo Fatu turn?
Um, I didn't like it. Just only for the reason because I thought we were going to get more between the two groups, the power struggle,
Okay.
and mainly some kind of Fatu and Breaker match of
I
sorts,
thought it was
or at
our
least,
War Games.
yeah, it could have been War Games, but no, they dropped it. Now Fatu's out, flourishing on his own. I'm sure he'll do fine. I just wanted more out of the Breaker Fatu. I'm telling you, that's like maybe not. I'll say by WrestleMania like 40, it's around 42, probably by WrestleMania 44. That's going to be your WrestleMania, and then probably at WrestleMania 45 and WrestleMania 46. Like that's your next like multiple uh, WrestleMania headline matches, and I'm talking about night two, not night one, the real main event.
I guess it depends on Fatu because I don't think he's a young man.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Forgot about that. He's in his 40s. Oh no, he's actually in his 30s.
I think
He
he's late
just looks like
30s.
he's in. Yeah, he just looks like he's 40. You know, he's all gas, no brakes after all. He wasn't living a non hard life, being in and out of prison. And so, yes, he's lived his life, and it's taken its toll on him. But yeah, he's in his 30s. I mean, you got AJ Styles is like 46, so he can keep going for a while.
I am interested in that Jacob Fatu Jeff Cobb match, even though Cobb's a geek now.
Well, you know what's going to happen there now.
What do you mean?
Oh, I saw, speaking of reports, I did see a report that said, and it's a very important role that Bronson Reed is in Seth Rollins' group to take the pins. That's why he's in the group. And they said that in that article, it's a very important role for him to be able to take those pins, to be a loser.
Bronson Reed,
Yeah,
the monster.
yeah. Because they got to protect Rollins and they got to protect Breaker since he's the future. So, yeah, Bronson Reed's there so he can eat them L's. He's gonna eat them up like Pac-Man, like
Like Solo.
Tomatonga. Like, oh, we know who's taking the pin in this match.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's a tag match between Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't even have to know. Don't even have to know who they're facing.
like just write it down. Tomatonga got pinned, and but yeah, that's the report. Is he's out there to eat them L's.
Good for him, I guess. Well, then they did their WrestleMania announcement. It is indeed in Vegas. I thought it was lazy. If I was New Orleans, I'd really sit down and look at the books to see how much revenue the WWE brings to New Orleans.
Well, I mean, we got reports that it was going to happen. That it was going back to Las Vegas. My thing is, from the reports that I heard, uh, they were still trying to finalize the deal, and they just had to get the ducks in order. They wanted to get back to the same venue they were at last year before they made the announcement. So they pulled out of New Orleans without a plan. Like you would think if they pulled out, especially of a WrestleMania, they had the plan in place, and it's like we got this venue, and we'll make it up to you. Like you get Money in the Bank next year, right? That's it. We'll make it up to you. But from the sound of things, they pulled out without the plan. They just knew they were pulling out. That's all they knew at the time.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we're going back to Vegas. Well, we won't. I'll go ahead and tell you now, we're not going to go unless we get like a sponsor that pays us to go out there. Consider it.
We're not
I'm
going
not
to.
paying my own
We're
money.
not going to Vegas.
I would like to go to Vegas.
We're not. Nobody's gonna fucking pay us to go to Vegas.
You don't ever know. People think they pay people. You know, seeing this WWE squeezing sponsorships out of every fucking thing they can, I was like, we need to get some sponsors around here. Sponsor, I can wear like a sponsored hat. Put sponsors on our each segment, like sponsor our audience. You can even have my name. Just sponsor. I'll say my name as whatever you sponsor me as. Now I've given WWE an idea. They're gonna start sponsoring the freaking wrestlers' names. Like, oh, Seth State Farm Rollins.
Like stadiums.
Yeah. Now I got this idea off of a commercial.
Oh, they do that with the moves. It's the State Farm driver.
Yeah. Oh, he's lining up for the Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15 minutes or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna get everything they can. But maybe there's a lesson to be learned there.
Well, finally
But
we have.
well, I was gonna say bringing that back to Vegas. You never know. Maybe someone pay us to go out there, and then we'll go. Or I would speak for you, but I'll go. And I'll be very like, I'll be very dick suck about it too. Oh, it's the greatest event ever, WrestleMania. I love it all, even the booking.
Well, finally we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and John Cena. The good guys won, of course. Now there was a masked man that attacked Cena, the heel, that gave Cody the opportunity to win. And Logan Paul, highlight was Logan Paul line salting Jey Uso through the announce desk. But yeah. And I did
Boy,
do
did
some
he.
digging.
Uh-huh.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, boy, did he. He like almost flew into the first row. He got so much distance on that.
I did do some digging. The masked man that attacked Cena was Ron Killings.
Oh my. Who's that?
Some dude from TNA. So looks like R-Truth's getting a fresh coat of paint.
Yes. I'm concerned about it, but we can talk about more of that in the stories.
Okay.
But they're I think they misunderstood what we were going after there.
Okay.
We just wanted him back, not like a serious. I don't know.
I don't know if they, because they're changing his name. If they, I don't know, if they make him more rugged, maybe more urban, and less of a clown, I can get behind that.
Yeah, well, it does look like he will not be a clown, at least
We'll
from
see.
that.
Well, Cena's a pussy now, so that's not a good barometer.
Well, I mean, like, what are we building to here? Is he going to be the one that saves wrestling? Like, is this the? Yeah.
War games.
No, I mean, like, he attacks Cena, so like, is he going to actually? Because the last time he didn't get a title match, so is he actually going to get a title match? Like,
Oh yeah, maybe.
is he equal to Cena now? Like, I don't, that's what I'm getting at. Are they like pushing him to like the moon now?
I don't know if they're pushing him to the moon, but they might push him to a match against Cena, a title match. And if I don't know if he's a little bit more serious. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, they're definitely going from the looks of things. They're going the serious route with him, which is good.
We'll just have to wait and see. Like the 1 second he starts talking about Ron killings, then it's dead. But or little Jimmy, because that's the last time we saw him. He was talking to little Jimmy.
Yeah.
And then he got his ass kicked by Cobb.
Yeah, we'll see.
That was Money in the Bank. So we have Rollins one step closer to ultimate power, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Got Fatu fucking over Solo. And Bloodline's officially dead now. And who's Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa going to side with?
Well, I'm going to assume Solo. Because now, Fatu is going to be on his solo babyface run. So now he's going to go up against, because they're still teasing the Damian Priest thing. So is he going to go up against Priest and we're going to get face versus face now?
I don't know. Unless he's a tweener. Although they both kind of are, so that's still weird. I don't know. They just might have a good match.
Yeah. But we'll see where it goes. Now, as far as Rollins winning Money in the Bank, as I was talking about earlier, remember now they announced that title match for Jey Uso way in advance. And now
with
on
Gunther?
Monday, yes. And now on Monday he has his title match. So I believe fingers are pointing at Seth Rollins cashing in on Monday.
I would.
Now, is he successful? That's another question, because maybe that's what I said. Maybe that's where CM Punk cost him, but I think he's going to cash in on Monday.
I would hope so, because if Jey Uso beats Gunther again.
Well, you have some people say that predict that Seth Rollins is going to, so Gunther's going to beat Jey Uso, and then transitionally, Seth Rollins is going to cash in on Gunther.
No, what needs to happen is Gunther needs to go over the barricade or the announce desk or whatever the fuck, and Rollins needs to curb stomp Uso and pin him and run away with his title. Gunther has suffered enough.
Yeah, I don't like the taking another pinfall thing, but I do think, I don't know. I do think we're gonna get a cash in of sorts. Like now, again, maybe CM Punk costs the cash in, because I did keep pointing it out. 75%, or I think they said 75% of the time, the cash in is successful, and 100% of the time on the women's side. So, is this the year that the woman fails? Which would then kind of do Naomi dirty, but I mean, they're both
Wouldn't it be funny if he cashes in on Dominic just to fuck with everybody?
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
It would.
I got the power now. What?
Well, they've already done that before, so
Well, that was Money in the Bank. You still want me to talk about Worlds Collide, or you just want to go to the news?
Uh, well, chat, let us know. Do you want Worlds Collide? Quick thoughts. Now, I didn't watch Worlds Collide. Only Harry did, so let us know. Type one in the chat if you want Worlds Collide. Two in the chat if you want just the news. Give you a second here, as you are all engaged, obviously. All right. Well, I'll leave it up to you. You want to talk about it? If you wrote something down, you might as well.
All right, give me 1 second here. I mean, I did create a visual.
Oh yeah, you spent time on it. You might as well do it then.
Oops. Oh yeah, this is the president of AAA. Just thought I'd
Okay.
point
Is
that
that
out.
Michael Jackson?
I thought it was Perez Hilton.
The dude?
Yeah, but it's not. Clearly.
Does no one care? And there's people in your circle that's supposed to care about you and stop you from doing stuff like this. Now, what I'm mentioning here is that's obviously it's either a wig or it's just a bad hairstyle choice. So
And it looks like she's had
people,
some bad plastic surgery too.
that too. So yeah, someone's got to get in her ear on that. Well, if she gets on the internet, I'm sure. I'm sure the secret's out now.
It's a little bit more presentable here. Just out of artistic integrity. Boom, boom, boom. Oh shit. All right. Just forget I did that. So, I still fucked it up. Whatever. Worlds Collide. We're in Los Angeles. It started off with a hype video. Just WWE bought AAA, and it's going to be awesome. And so WWE is involved. So naturally, we have walkers, and it's Rey Mysterio. Yeah, Rey Mysterio Jr., Stephanie Vacour, and some chick who turned out to be Lola Vice. She in NXT?
She is in NXT.
Okay. And then we had Chad Gable and Vikingo. They're wrestling for the Mega Championship. I guess that's their title. So yeah. And Corey Graves and Conan are on commentary. It was really nice to see that they have something for Graves to do.
Yeah, send them to Mexico or wherever they were. You said they're in California. But,
Yeah.
off to a bad start. Let's keep going.
Shawn Michaels appeared in the ring with the AAA president. You saw Perez Hilton there. And then, she looked like an android. Triple H was there too. They sang what I assume was the Mexican national anthem. And then they did the American anthem. Lillian Garcia is a tryhard. She's the one that did the American anthem. And yeah. Triple H kind of looked around confused when they did the Mexican anthem. It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Of course.
And Rey Mysterio Jr. came out, and I think I'm going to be useless when it comes to the talking parts because there was a lot of Spanish. And it was something about never thinking that he'd see the day Lucha was in America.
All right.
And then we start off with Mr. Iguana, Aerostar, and Octagon Jr. versus the LWO. And I think it was the WWE LWO. I don't know. They all look the same to me. But Mr. Iguana was definitely the coolest. He he kind of crawled out like a rock star. Um, Conan was awesome on commentary. He started the match off letting us know like this isn't American wrestling. Um, we're going to see something different. Just kind of preparing us to have an open mind. He was very good on the backstories of all the wrestlers too. Like one of them, Psycho Clown, was in a wrestling dynasty or some shit, and like another one was he'd sell tamales, and so he could buy a Rey Mysterio shirt once a week or some shit. So it was really
Hmm.
good. Aerostar had LED lights on his gear, like blue LED lights. I thought that was cool. And Mr. Iguana wrestled. He wrestled like an iguana, and he had a pet that was called Yayeska. It was a pet iguana puppet thing called Yayeska that he wrestled with. He took a bump where his arms and legs were up in the air, like I assume a dead iguana would be. That type of shit. One of the LWO guys beat the shit out of Yayeska, the puppet, and this it reminded me of Ric Flair beating the shit out of his blazer. One
Yeah,
of the
so I did see that clip.
I had to
Definitely
share it.
definitely the most viral part of the. I mean, Mr. Iguana, yeah, kind of made himself a.
An overnight
Uh,
superstar.
yes, they already want him in WWE. They want him. Now they understand, like he is a comedy character, no different from like Santino Marella or what our truth used to be.
I don't know. They said he was one of the bigger stars in that promotion, so I don't know. I don't know what he is to them.
Yeah,
For all I
but
know, that could be the fucking John Cena of AAA.
I mean, he seems like he kind of yeah really connected with the crowd. The clip,
Instantly.
yeah, the clip about the iguana getting beat up, like the crowd did not like that at all.
I thought it was fun. I couldn't stop fucking laughing. Like he just and then yeah, he got mad about it and yeah. A masked guy that looked like Penta without tattoos turned out to be Octagon Jr. I didn't know who that was at the time. Uh, he won with a flipping fallaway slam. You know Scott Hall's fallaway slam. He did that off of the top rope. The atmosphere of the match was really cool. The crowd was really into it. It did feel like a little Mexico. A lot of Spanish chants and stuff. They seem to be more into the history of AAA than I don't know. I don't know if it was a WWE crowd or not, but it was cool. And maybe it was because they did, at one point they did chant for tables.
Oh, well,
The iguana guy was obviously the most popular, obviously the most silly as well. And then after the match, Dominic talks shit about Rey Mysterio Jr. And then Octagon attacked Dom, and then Dom challenged Octagon for his title, Dominic's title, his own title at Money in the Bank.
there you go.
And then we had the evil WWE Mexicans. They were interviewed, and I think they say that they're ready for war, and they're going to prove who owns AAA. And then they own Lucha Libre or the Lucha Libre universe because they're in WWE or something. They had a WWE patch, and they're like, "This is excellence" or whatever. I don't know, because WWE is all about that lucha.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna. I don't know. It seems it's good to. Or, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes. Like, are they going to make it more of a annual thing, or is it going to be like a weekly thing? Like, I already heard that someone's getting a title match, like another WWE guy's getting a title match for Triple Mania. So they're already booking the next show.
I mean, if they do another show, I'll watch it. I will say that.
Yeah, it does seem like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. You should go back and watch it.
I think I will.
So after that, we had a girl hype video. Now, some old ladies are pissed off at Stephanie Verker for some reason. I guess it's because she's not. I don't know. I'm not getting into it. Something about her ethnicity. And then the old ladies are legends, I guess. And then some MMA chick agrees to tag with Vikur, and that turned out to be Lola Vice. And the old ladies are Dalias and Chick Tormenta. And they were trained by men. And Corey Graves and Conan they were awesome here because they were talking about how one of the old ladies wore a mask and recently lost it, and they had like a little back and forth about that. One of them, her whole career she was in a mask, and then recently she lost a mask versus mask match. So and that's really important with the lucha stuff.
Yep.
So it was just very good that they were very elementary with the commentary. You can tell that they were speaking stupid to the audience because they wanted to get more people involved. They didn't want to go over people's heads.
I mean, yeah, they should have known that they were doing. There's going to be a lot of new eyes, so
Exactly. Vice and Vikur looked really scrumptious. And then the old ladies beat the fuck out of them. Vikur won with a package backbreaker. It's called SBD or some shit. I don't know. But the old ladies, they came to play. And it wasn't a bad match. I don't know about that Lola Vice's MMA stuff. She did some fucking bicycle kick shit that I don't know.
well, she did used to be in the MMA,
Okay.
and probably that just doesn't translate to WWE because she doesn't want to like actually punch someone or whatever.
That's fair.
Noted for her celebrations of shaking her ass when she won.
She did shake her ass.
Yes.
That's another reason why I kind of question her MMA credentials.
No, she did that in MMA too. She'd win, and then that was her. That was her celebration, is the ass shake. And yeah, obviously it was over. Connected with the crowd, obviously. Oh, I hope she wins. I don't know why.
See, Amanda
Rooting for
Nunes
her
was
to
always
win.
she was my favorite. She was just all fucking business.
Who?
Amanda Nunes.
Oh,
I mean, she didn't. I mean, she wasn't gonna win any supermodel contest, but she'll win a knockout contest.
yeah. What about that Chris Cyborg? Was that a what was that thing?
So we get a Chad
What's going
Gable
on
interview. The interviewer suggests that Gable disrespects Lucha. Gable says he loves it and he's going to win 2 matches. And then we get the evil WWE Mexicans versus Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Dr. Wagner III. Psycho Clown was awesome. Wagner was cool too. I guess he would train in Japan or some shit, so he knew the strong style. He also had like streamers. He did the, you know how Triple H stands on the apron during his entrance.
Yeah.
He did that, but he did jazz hands, and then like streamers came out of his sleeves. It was kind of cool. I don't know about Pagano. They said he was hardcore. He just seemed to be the one that took the ass whooping. And then Escobar pinned Wagner with a Phantom Driver, which I was kind of disappointed because I believe Dr. Wagner is like one of the biggest luchadors of all time. So I don't know. Kind of disappointing to see, I guess, the ancestor of the biggest luchador of all time lose his first running of WWE television or programming or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Was what's his name? Oh, there we go. La Parca. Was La Parca there?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
they said he was supposed to be there. Now
Oh,
this
he
is
may
a
have been. I don't
recasted.
know.
Yeah, it's a recasted La Parca, but yeah, he was supposed to be there.
I didn't see him in a match. They did I mean, there's people ringside, so maybe they featured him there. I don't know. There's some dude in a Jason mask that they said were the Street Profits, so maybe that was La Parca. I don't know.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Dawkins tweeted the person in the Jason mask too, so
Yeah,
I don't know
it
why
was.
they that. I'm sure there's a story there.
Well, it said Street Profits, and I thought, oh, Montez Ford's trying too hard now. This is ridiculous. And then they cut to the real Street Profits, and boy, was my face red. El Vikingo was interviewed. I didn't understand one goddamn word that was uttered. And then Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, Ray Phoenix, and Ethan Page had a four-way for the North American title. Page won somehow. I didn't pay attention because I don't know. I couldn't get into this match at all. I tried.
Fair enough.
Then we got Gable versus Vikingo, and this was hard hitting, which means that we got serious Gable. Which mean, you know, he'd do the peace signs, but he wouldn't do the thank you, and it fucking looked like he was about to win a match, and you know, he wasn't a punchline. Vikingo hit a 630 splash or something from the top rope from the floor or to the floor. I don't know if you know what that is, but to me it looked like he just flips until he lands.
He just keeps rotating.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it in AEW before.
Okay. Oh
I think
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I thought that was his finisher, but
It is. So he hit Gable with a Mexican destroyer on the apron. Gable put Vikingo through a table via moonsault, and then Vikingo won with another 630 splash. And again, it just looks like he flips. And then all of AAA, at least the ones that were there, celebrated in the ring after. So the Mega Championship stays with AAA, at least this go around.
yeah. Oh no, seems like it was a pretty fun event.
I
That's
enjoyed the
great to
shit out of
watch.
it. I liked it better than Money in the Bank, to be honest with you.
That's fair. I'll definitely go back and watch it. Santos Group, they're getting the tag match. They're getting a tag title match at Triple Mania. So
Oh, okay. Well, they did win, so it makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, that was Worlds Collide.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And now it is time. Or do we need to do a little break real quick?
I'm good.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to.
yeah. Let's take a little, little break so I can get refill my water and pee.
Well, I can.
We're making good time now. But I'll be right back.
All right.
And he's gonna probably play a song. Hey, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ace grab cheekbones and Ernie stands. Grab their girls and clap their hands and come on, girls, ready to play. Let's have it move that swinging today. In the land of Fu Manchu, the girls all down to Susie Q. Clap their hands in the center of the floor, saying ding ding hop, do it ding dong.
Oh yes. So now we can talk about some stories before we get on out of here, as we always do. And the first story, seeing as we kind of just talked about it, we can go ahead and talk about this. Our truth. is unfired, or was he ever fired? We're going to talk about that. But before we talk about if he was ever fired, let's break it down. Actually, let's spoil that. Yes, he was fired, and they brought him back. So let's break down the transaction of events here. So, and I sent this to you on Sunday. We start off with our truth. He uh, posts on his Twitter, his X, that he regrets to inform everybody, but he has been released. Hold on. Why do I hear myself? Hold on. You can't hear yourself, and now I hear myself. What
It's
a challenge.
glorious, isn't it?
Is that it? Okay. Oh, okay. Got it. So, yes. So this was posted June 1st on Sunday. And it was our truth. He takes to his ex Twitter and he says, "I'm sorry to inform you all, I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who were along for the ride. Thank you for all the love, support, and appreciation you have given me over the years. Thank you." Now, if we can take a look here, that went viral. It is now up to 22.2 million views.
Yep. There's a whole bunch of wrestlers that did thank yous and this is can't believe it for fucking our truth.
Yes. Pretty much, yeah, everybody everybody in the wrestling industry pretty much had something to say about this. So you had Jade Cargill, she commented, you had Rhea Ripley, she was the first one to comment. It's like heartbroken. Naomi, Ricochet, because he still needs to throw himself into things. Alexa Bliss, Shotzi, Dijak. So you had a bunch of people, pretty much everybody who's been in contact with truth. And the one thing is, no one was ever saying like a negative thing. It was all like support.
Well, yeah, he seems like one of them harmless guys that fuck, he's been a joke for 10 years and had a smile on his face about it. Like
Yes,
how can you hate somebody like that?
yeah, and from what it seems, he was just like the guy in the locker room that always brought the mood up.
That's
He's
probably
that
why he was there for so long.
yeah that jokester in the locker room. One person who did say something though was Naomi. I'm sorry, Natalia. She came out and she said, whatever she said. But I was thinking, like, Natalia, you probably should like be quiet right now. Like, if I'm Natalia, I'm not saying shit. As a matter of fact, I'm probably like hiding. Like, oh, Natalia, don't say my name. Don't say my name. They're gonna make me next.
Oh no, she's training up No Talent Dupree.
Well,
That's her pet project right now.
it is, but you know, if they're cutting people, you don't want your name to be out there because. But that was Sunday, and then again, the wrestling world reacted to it. By Monday, it started to really catch some wildfire, uh, and we talked about it both on Raw and SmackDown. There were our truth chants throughout the whole night. Women's matches, men's matches, bunch of different. I don't know. Any downtime, there was like our truth chants.
I saw that.
So then we fast forward a little bit, and we get to Money in the Bank. And if you watch Money in the Bank, at the end of Money in the Bank, John Cena he hits Cody Rhodes with the title, a la WrestleMania. And before he gets the pin, he gets attacked by this hooded figure. And then the hooded figure reveals himself to be our Truth. So he gets fired. So I'm sorry, by so Sunday he says that he's released, and by Monday, I'm sorry, by Sunday, well, that would have been Saturday. So by Saturday, so not even 7 days later, he is back with the company. And so much so, WWE, they put on social media, um, on their main page, you want truth, you got truth. And they have they re-released his gear, so now you can buy a R Truth shirt for $50.
It's Ron Killings.
I was gonna get there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Well,
yeah, for
they're going to be looking for our truth shirts, and they're going to be disappointed.
so yeah, for the low price of $50, you can buy yourself some R Truth shirts. However, there is a little bit of a different caveat to that. And the caveat is the shirts actually, well, the post actually says, Ron Killings is here. Let me actually get it for you here. So I thought I put it there, but I guess I didn't. There you go. So it says Ron Killings is here. Head to WWE shop and get your gear now. Again, that's $50 shirt. Um, we do have an affiliate link if you are so inclined to purchase one of those shirts. It costs you no extra money than that $50, but we get a little bit of kickback. So there's that.
$50.
Yes. So it's like, you want him, you got him. So yeah, he is back with the company, but under a new name, Ron Killings, which is his, I don't know if that's his legal name, but it's definitely his TNA name.
I think it is.
It may be. He has a YouTube channel. He was doing some music, and that was the name he was using. So I'm inclined to think that was his real name.
I'm sorry, it's Ronnie Killings. So
Close enough. But yes, our truth has been brought back. This did lead to a lot of people saying that this was a work. Even Triple H kind of hinted that this was the plan all along in the presser after the show. But it, first of all, let me ask: do you think that this was a work? This whole thing?
kind of, just because there's been outrage before for releases. Granted, not to this extent. I don't know why to this extent for our truth. But yeah, no.
You don't know why it was to this extent, because like we said, our truth. I don't think anybody ever thought that he was going to be taken seriously. Like, we understood that he was just there to make his one-off cameos on TV, make people laugh.
Because he's been nothing but a jester.
Yes,
That's
but you
why.
need
All
that.
these people, no, all these people are fucking pissed off about our truth getting released when you've had the people were upset about Bray Wyatt, but you didn't have like wrestlers coming out and oh, I'm so sad, devastated.
Well, I think that was a different time, though. Like, they were afraid, I think, back then, because they didn't want to get got to.
Well, how's this any different?
New management.
That'd be worse.
Well, maybe, or maybe this was just like, I mean, well, I don't even care anymore. You want to fire me? Fire me.
I don't know. Just of all the talent that's been released to get up in arms about, I think would be more warranted over our truth. I just don't know why our truth would be the one guy that they listen to and bring back.
Well, the other guy was Drake Maverick, and that was back when he went, like I said, he went viral for crying, and then yeah, they brought him back, and then
Oh yeah, and that To the Moon guy tried to do the same thing.
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah,
I wonder what happened to him. Is he still?
I don't know. He has an OnlyFans.
Oh, so did our truth, by the way. He opened the OnlyFans in this during his release. See, that's the kind of person our truth is. He opened an OnlyFans and he said, "Is this Twitter?" And then he said, "Y'all might get feet pictures and stuff." Might. So, yeah. And I'll tell you why. First of all, it was not a work. It wasn't a work. It was not a work. It never was a work. And the main reason is, or the reason that they brought him back is because the outrage that that it brought up. They didn't think it was going to happen in such a way, but then it did, and it was like, oh shit, we need to bring him back. Now, yes, they could have ignored the outrage. They could have just like, they'll probably die down in a week. Like, yeah, we were still getting our truth chance even at Money in the Bank, but I was questioning like how long is like in a month are people still going to be chanting? No, like they're going to be on to the next thing. But it just came at a bad time, and that's why they had to like walk it back a little bit because you had our truth being released, and then you also had them like sending out the WrestleMania. They pulled out a WrestleMania from New Orleans. So stack that on top of, oh, and you're getting rid of our truth. Uh, the tables now being sponsored under the ring. So now we got more commercials or more ads, and the WrestleMania thing, and you're getting rid of our truth.
They have
So
shirts made already.
they did have shirts, and it doesn't take that long. You know, as a matter of fact, that's the same shirt that he used to have, and I don't see the name Ron Killings on that shirt. So I'm inclined to believe that that is the same shirt. They're just calling him Ron Killings now. Rhea Ripley was wearing that shirt on Monday. Well, she was before they made her take it off.
This exact same shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she showed up to the arena in that shirt. That was his shirt. So, as a matter of fact, the Ron Cena shirt's a little bit more popular. But yeah, I think it was just the fact that we're getting gouged, we're getting advertised out the ass, and then now you're firing people, that are beloved by the fans, just becoming a cold, like you had even the content creators, they were getting into it. So like you had like Busted Open, Mark Henry is like, this would have never, something like this would have never happened under Vince McMahon because he loved our truth, uh, even though our truth did get fired under Vince McMahon, but that's here or there.
I mean, he let Bray Wyatt go. He let Bray Wyatt was a fan favorite, and they didn't let Daniel Bryan wrestle at all.
Yeah. But R-Truth specifically.
I think I don't know. I wouldn't put this past Vince. Vince shat on somebody. You can't put
Well, he
anything
paid her
past him.
too, so.
Oh, there's that.
But so yeah, you had that. You had Vince Russo, obviously. Uh, you had the Good Brothers. They said it the most glaring thing. It's like you have to understand that this no longer is WWE. This is TKO. Like they're not in it for they don't care about wrestling. They just care about the bottom dollar. That's why, R-Truth is going. That's why, they're squeezing every sponsorship they can get in. Like this is just a money-making machine now. The soul's gone. Again, this is all over R-Truth, by the way. So yeah, it was just yes, it was just R-Truth, but it was just like thing after thing after thing, and it was like this company is no longer fun anymore. Like you had a lot of people who were threatening to go to AEW. Like, I'm done. I'm going to AEW.
Like who?
Well, fans.
Oh, they'll
Even
come
to
back.
even to the point where Tony Khan had to put out a message telling everybody to remember, don't. Well, okay. So one fan they tweeted out, "Oh, there's a lot of Fed people coming over after the R-Truth firing. Should we gatekeep?" And Tony Khan was like, don't gatekeep now. Let everybody in. If they want to come over, let them over. So now, of course, he's saying that. Like, what? People are going to watch our product. You better not do anything to fuck this up.
I guess we'll find out if they have a plan for him. Then I would say this was a work.
It wasn't a work, though.
Okay.
If it was a work,
If they don't have a plan for him, then okay. But if they actually have a plan for him, then all signs point to that because they're not going to just have something ready for him after responding to backlash within a week.
well, here's my concern with that. Or here's my thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a work, you're telling me they did such a good work that they worked like everybody. You had even people in the company fooled. You had people in the like the
You mean
dirt
that?
sheet.
You mean they acted like a fucking wrestling company?
Yes, the same wrestling company that has a reality show that's unscripted or whatever the fuck its name is.
Well, and they're also trying to change the culture.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They are trying to change the culture into the UFC.
And what is UFC? That's more realistic.
Yeah.
So they're not going to fucking. They're not going to. They're not going to. They're not going to. You're giving them way too much credit.
The same company that hasn't done anything creative and
exactly. That's what I'm fucking saying. They're not going to have something ready for R-Truth if they're not. If this wasn't planned. This company, this fucking creative. That's what I'm saying. Wait and see. If it's just him coming back with making some stupid jokes and being the same fucking R-Truth, just what as Ron Killings, okay. But if they actually have a fucking storyline for him,
they're not going to have a storyline for him.
He attacked Cena. There's got to be something from that.
Yes.
And he's got a different name. He's got pseudo new merch.
The same merch, yeah.
So wait and see. Again, if he's just back to being a jester or just being there or just being a warm body on the roster, okay, then yeah, that was backlash. But if they actually have a fucking story for him, this creative, there's no way they're gonna come up with that in a week.
What's a story for him, by the way? Like, what are we saying as a story for him? He's going to get a match with John Cena. That's obvious.
Mhm.
That's not a story. That's just playing off of what was already there.
That's a major feud.
It is, but that was already there. He got the match at Saturday Night's Main Event. So they're just picking up where they left off.
Is
with
he going to
that.
have shit to say, or is it just going to be them having matches? Just wait and see.
We will wait and see.
We will.
Because what's gonna after he's done with Cena, after
Mhm.
Cena beats him, yeah, we'll see then. that he's
Maybe he
gonna
teams
have
up with the
nothing.
Street Profits.
Oh, I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe
What?
they're now? Yes, they'll now have a long term plan or something for him.
But they
Which
would,
is
if they were just going to bring him back just to respond to people being pissed off, they wouldn't go through all this. They wouldn't have all this ready.
they
He would
would.
just be back. He would attack Cena. They'd have a match, and he'd be done. And maybe that's what's got to happen. We don't know yet. What I'm saying though is, if he actually has some shit to say, like maybe they could do an angle where he blames Cena for getting fired. I don't know. Maybe he stalks Cena. Maybe he ruins wrestling for Cena. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see.
As I said, is he going to be the savior for John Cena ruining wrestling now? Because it seems like they're going to push him, which is not necessarily what we needed him back for. It's more so like a comfort food. Like, oh, let's just bring him back so he can do his comedy spots. He's just that guy that's there. But now it's like, oh, you wanted him back. Oh, well, let's push some shit out for him. Let's get some $50 merch. By the way, if you don't buy it, maybe you didn't want him back. $50. Which is like, well, it's not $50. It's $45, which is $10 more than the other people's merch.
Well, the fact that he's going by Ron Killings now, that kind of, I don't know, makes me a little bit more optimistic that maybe he's gonna be a little bit more serious.
It is, but that's another thing. Fans are like, "Oh, you all got worked." Yeah, our truth got fired, but that's because they were bringing in Ron Killings instead. Get the fuck out of here. That was so last minute. Like, I can't believe I'm hearing this kind of stuff. People are saying this stuff.
And that, you know what? There's those reports about how they're trying to turn the product a little bit more serious and focus less on comedy. That's why they got rid of Truth and Carlito. It would make sense that they would bring Truth back. They would have a plan to bring Truth back as Ron Killings.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Doesn't seem-
Again, if it's shit, if it's the same shit, different day, then you're right. I'm wrong.
I'm not saying. I know it's going to be different. I'm saying it's going to be different.
You know what I
What
mean,
I'm
though.
saying is,
If he's just there and it's just, anybody could have done that type of shit.
and another thing, thing to point out here,
Mhm.
like why, like you said, why Truth of all people? If this was a plan beforehand, why have this whole plan behind Truth? Why not like Karrion Cross, who everybody's first of all, he's much more serious. Everybody just wants him to be pushed. Why not have the plan for him over someone who's like our Truth, who I don't know, was just there?
Because our Truth, one, is a veteran, and apparently he's beloved amongst the locker room. So if the employees universally love somebody, then chances are management does too. Either way, this guy will be happy.
Yeah, well, it works out for him. But that's our truth. We'll see what happens. But let us know in the comments if you think this was a work or if it was WWE bending the knee over backlash. And we go on to our next story. Now, this story is from the coach, Jonathan Coachman. By the way, this story came out also after the R-Truth firing. So we're piling on to the R-Truth firing. Maybe everybody got worked. No, oh, hold on. We gotta play this video. I got one more. I got one more piece of evidence here. Now you're not gonna care about her, but I got one more piece of evidence here. Did you happen to watch the post show?
Of course not.
Okay.
I watched Worlds Collide, I watched Raw, I watched SmackDown, I watched Money in the Bank. I'm not watching any of that extracurricular shit.
That's fair. Well, I want to present you with exhibits. And I don't even know if this is going to go on the video because it's probably going to get us. We're going to get copyright off of this, but we're going to play it anyway. So I'm going to put it at the very bottom here.
Never see him. Since we thought we would never see him in a WWE ring again, but the response from the fans was immediate and it was overwhelming. Bring him home. Tonight, R-Truth's return was not just a surprise, it was a reminder of why we all love this. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I just want to say, and I speak for the entire WWE universe, I am so happy to see my favorite part of every WWE show back. So welcome back, Truth.
Now,
Since
who
we
is
thought
that?
we would
That is Kathy Kelly, backstage reporter or whatever the hell her job is. She does all the interviews. The other one that does all the interviews outside of Jackie Redmond.
You're gonna have to do a whole lot better than a girl getting emotional to convince me otherwise.
I'm saying she does all the backstage interviews for WWE,
Okay.
and she's here brought to tears over Truth being back. My point in all that is if it's a work, like you're working even your own employees this hard, just I don't know, just doesn't make sense. Also on the post show, they were calling him R-Truth until much later. Then they got word that uh, WWE posted that Ron Killings is here. So then they started calling him Ron Killings. So they didn't even know. The panel didn't even know he was Ron Killings. So if it's a work, you've worked your whole freaking division, like you worked your whole company outside of you and Truth and Cena. That's what makes me believe that maybe it's not a work.
Because some chick cried.
No, because if someone would have been hip to the idea.
Nick Khan, probably Ari Emanuel, Triple H,
See, you're acting
Dwayne.
like you're acting like they're bringing in they're turning John Cena heel and they're just we're not going to tell anybody. This is going to be the biggest biggest thing in history. R-Truth.
Well, they had to make up for something for the Cena flop.
I mean, it's still playing out.
No, it's not. He's got what, 10 more days? Appearances?
No, we're going until December, so we got time.
All right.
But yeah, we go back to our go back to our second story. So after the R-Truth firing, we had Jonathan Coachman. Now, I understand that Coachman is about as reliable. Uh, so pleasantly put in the comments, he's about as reliable as Dave Meltzer. But he said uh, that there's a power struggle, and Triple H and The Rock are at odds. And this will lead. So the headline here was Jonathan Coachman says that Triple H will will no longer be head of creative within 18 months because of the power struggle with him and The Rock. He said this on his show, which is the Two Man Power Trip podcast. This came out on Tuesday. Uh, so he kind of laid out what we've seen on TV. So, you know, there was the whole The Rock doing his coming out at Backlash, or no, I'm sorry, whenever he came out, The Rock coming out, doing that, the Raw Netflix, uh, being buddy buddy with Cody Rhodes, so basically breaking the WrestleMania storyline. So there was that, and then there was The Rock not showing up at WrestleMania. Oh, we're not gonna play it. It's too long.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's he goes on for like it's like 18 minutes into 25 minutes, so whatever that is. So yeah, that's why we're just
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the note.
yeah, and I couldn't find a good like breakup of it, so because he does lay it all out. But so yeah, we have that. We have uh The Rock not no showing WrestleMania. So basically ruining the John Cena storyline because he didn't show up at WrestleMania. Because
And,
not
and they've only mentioned him once since.
yes, and that was not by Cena.
Yeah. It was by Punk.
Yeah, and Cody. Well, he said the final boss. He didn't, but that was just him, basically him recapping what
Yeah.
happened to him.
Point is, Rock's not been involved after getting involved.
So he's saying that that was the Rock sabotaging Triple H, so that this all leads up to him being removed from power. So you have that. And then he just reminds you that The Rock is chairman of the board. So uh, he's technically higher than Triple H. And he is buddy buddy with the president or whatever, the Vince McMahon of the company, which is Ari Emanuel. So this all leads to basically what's going to happen is The Rock is going to. I'm sorry. So tickets are going to start declining, or maybe the ratings start declining. So I already saw that Netflix had its like second lowest rating uh, ever under this new WWE partnership thing. So it's going to keep declining, and this is all just going to lead to The Rock. Not The Rock necessarily taking over. He's just going to put his guy in place, which would be Brian Gewirtz. And this is all just leading up to. So this beef that they have is all leading up to Triple H getting sabotaged and kicked out.
Hmm.
So I guess we put the blame back on The Rock that, oh, everything is terrible right now because The Rock didn't show up for WrestleMania, even though from reports it it said that Triple H had months to figure this out and he couldn't. He's like, oh, after The Rock told him, "Well, I'm not going to be there. I don't know what else to do. We're done. just just go out there. Travis Scott, go out. I quit. I have no more creativity left because The Rock said he's not going to be there."
Yeah, Dwayne came out, said WrestleMania is going to be in New Orleans, and he's going to involve himself in Cody and Cena. But go fix that now.
Boy, did they. I even saw people talk about that too. Like, you guys are just like giving Triple H every out you can. Oh,
Oh no,
it's not his fault that they pulled out of, like, so the little announcement thing that Triple H did for New Orleans, they're not going to be in New Orleans for WrestleMania. They had people talking about how sad Triple H looked or disappointed. It's like, oh, he's just out there being the company guy. Like, he doesn't want to be in this position. It's not up to him. It's The Rock's fault. Like, what are we? Like, you guys are talking about someone who's not even there, blaming him.
Well, I think both can be true. I think Rock can be a meddling Nancy, and Triple H can suck.
Yes, they both can be true, but I don't know. You can't blame someone who's not there. We've been several months. There's been enough time to
This is the
make an
second
adjustment.
This is the second year in a row that he's injected himself needlessly into the main event of WrestleMania.
Oh, he didn't inject himself.
He did.
That's the problem.
He injected himself. And
No,
this
he
year
injected himself in the Backlash. He never said
he injected himself at Elimination Chamber.
no. He injected himself to Elimination Chamber. He didn't say anything about WrestleMania. He never said anything about WrestleMania.
Bullshit. Come on.
That's
The
that's
Elimination
everybody else saying
Chamber. The Elimination Chamber was setting up the main event for fucking WrestleMania, and The Rock was involved in that.
No, he was involved.
Oh, bullshit. Come on.
Y'all are all trying to connect the dots because from what The Rock said,
that's
he
what
told them.
happened. I don't need to connect the dots. That's what happened.
Do you remember the story on Back McAfee show? Oh,
don't
you
give
said
a
you didn't believe him. So
No, I don't believe The Rock. I don't believe anything The Rock says.
well, you won't believe this then, because where does this all stem from? You may be asking yourself. And apparently, the stem of this whole feud between Triple H and The Rock all goes back to WrestleMania 40, as The Rock was training to get to WrestleMania 40, or at least that's that's what we thought. And we enter, and this kind of backs up the story from the coach. We enter Wolfgang. Now, you may not know who that is. Just know this is some guy from NXT. He was a part of the Gallus Boys, and apparently they were supposed to train The Rock for his WrestleMania 40 match. So he did a interview with Cultaholics, this being Wolfgang, and he stated that in the interview that The Rock thought that WWE were arranging him, this being so again they're going to train for WrestleMania 40. The Rock thought that they were arranging him to be picked up in a private jet, WWE's private jet, to be taken to Los Angeles, where he was going to train with Gallus, while WWE thought The Rock was taking his own private jet to LA.
What?
So you see, there was a confusion on which private jet The Rock was going to go to LA on, WWE's or his own. A problem with The Rock's plane led to the first day of the training camp being canceled. Wolfgang described the situation as someone big leaguing the other. And this is the stem of Triple H and The Rock not liking each other, and the power struggle that is within WWE, and why The Rock sabotaged WrestleMania 41 allegedly. All because of a private jet. Brought to you by Wolfgang, who's like the best friend of The Rock, apparently, to know all this information.
Well, if The Rock is such a big movie star, why does he need somebody else's jet?
Because he's a big movie star. What's he taking his own jet for?
Because he has his own jet. Isn't that why you have your own jet?
You know, there was a line during one of the WCWs that we watched a couple of weeks ago, and it was Eric Bischoff talking to Ric Flair, and he said, "You know, that's the difference between us. You know, you spend all your money to keep up appearances. You spend all your money on private jets, taking private jets everywhere. People pay me to take their private jets."
He
Like-
said he uses the company's money.
Or something like that. Basically, yeah. He doesn't have to use his own money because he's in such a place where people pay for him to do it.
Well, clearly The Rock isn't.
Oh, but you just said he's a big movie star. So
That's
I
what he says. He's a big movie star.
no, you
And if
just said that.
And if he's such a big movie star, why can't he just take his own jet? I would never say The Rock is a big movie star. Don't you ever fucking put those words in my mouth.
Well, he is a big movie star. You don't have to say it.
That's
The
what
numbers
people.
are the-
That's what people wanted you to believe.
The numbers are the numbers. Like
Okay.
men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And the numbers follow that he's a big movie star.
Well, maybe when he does cartoons every now and then.
Well, that still counts. But yeah, they're beefing over a freaking private jet here.
You know, you can't shit on these people for being Triple H dick riders when you've been nothing but a Dwayne Johnson dick rider
Oh,
for the
yes,
past
I
20
can.
minutes. No, you can't. That's called hypocrisy.
The Rock does no wrong.
The Rock is
And-
a piece of shit.
And also, you're blaming someone who's not there. Let's not get like you've had all
I'm
this time
blaming
to turn it
somebody. I'm blaming somebody who had the Royal Rumble winner the year before give up his spot just so he can be in the main event of the WrestleMania
That was last
with
year.
the top guy. Yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
You think somebody was sitting around? Yo, it'd be a good idea. What? Let's have Cody win the Royal Rumble, but instead of having him face Roman Reigns, let's have The Rock do it instead and just totally swerve everybody. Fuck me, that's a great idea.
Now, was that a work or not? Because we believe that the WWE are capable of these elaborate works. So was that a work? Or did they listen to fan backlash and change their mind?
I believe that Dwayne just interjects himself whenever he fucking sees fit.
Well, that's what
Which-
it's got to
which-
be.
That's not what it gotta be. And if he's gonna and if he's gonna inject himself into shit, then he needs to fucking follow through instead of pussing out when he doesn't like it.
He didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He said
He got involved in the WrestleMania storyline this last year. You can defend him, you can suck his dick all you want. The fact of the matter is, he didn't need to be involved, and he got involved. And everybody was expecting him to be involved in some way, shape, and form, and he was MIA. He ghosted everything.
and poor old victim can come up with anything else. Because, that's like I don't know, your star player getting hurt.
Maybe
and
he
then
did come up with something else, and then Shoehorn Dwayne decided to come in with his piss bottles and his In-N-Out burger that he's had for the first time ever with his own little storyline.
The guy lives a busy life. You think he keeps track of when he has in and out?
Apparently he does.
Well, no, that's why I thought it was his first time, because he didn't keep track of it. Anyway, in and out's not even that good. There, how about that? But let us. Yeah, I didn't mean that. But let us know what you think. Is Triple H losing his job over a private jet? And is he even in the right or wrong for that? I guess it doesn't matter because he's about to lose that shit, and then you know it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Wouldn't it depend on how close he is with that Ari Emanuel guy? Oh, I guess that's Dwayne's best friend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
But our last story here. Now I don't know if this story might just be uh it might not be accurate or not, but it is something that we talk about. As you see, all these stories this week revolve around the back the R truth being the straw that broke the camel's back. So our last story comes from comicbooknews.com. I don't know if that's a credible source. Never heard of them before I clicked on the story. So
It's not a good start.
it's not, but I didn't want to use. I thought I'd give them a chance.
Fair enough.
So the last story is about more cutting from TKO. So we had our truth that they undone. Karrion Cross has yet to sign a deal. The Miz looks like he's on his way out, even though he's debunked that himself. He said that's not true. And then we go to Roman Reigns. So the story here is TKO wants to cut Roman Reigns' deal. They think he makes too much money. So as a report, TKO
Well, they
is
think
looking.
he makes too much money for the amount of time that he works.
I'm getting there.
I'm just painting the whole picture.
Oh, okay. So yeah, TKO is reportedly looking to renegotiate Roman Reigns' massive $15 million WWE contract, claiming the part-time superstar's deal isn't worth the cost. Basically, yes, he's a part-timer. Why is he making $15 million? The news comes as WWE struggles with declining ratings on Netflix. We can also add that TKO and WWE recently released veterans like R-Truth and Carlito. You see what I'm talking about? It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. All these stories start coming out, and yeah, that's why they had to walk it back, or they had to. I don't know. Maybe it was a work, and they just had to go ahead and play it out now instead of wait. Um, And then it says, as they didn't renew the contract, raising questions on what's really going on. So Roman Reigns, yeah, he's making $15 million. His contract, I think I saw, is up next year after WrestleMania. And beforehand, they want to renegotiate his deal. It says, while they won't outright. Oh, the source that we're talking to is Hugo Sanovic. Savio, I don't know. Spanish.
Oh, Hugo Sanovich.
Yes, Spanish commentator Hugo Sanovich.
I think he was the guy that got busted open that one WrestleMania.
Oh, so yeah, he was speaking with Lucha Libre Online. This is where the story comes from, and then he said, while they won't outright release him, he won't be making $15 million per year anymore. Now, why $15 million? Let's break it down. Roman Reigns' base salary is $5 million. But then there are add-ons for pay-per-view video games, promotional merchandise, yada 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 yada. TKO is saying Roman not around full time. Why are we paying him so much? So they want to negotiate. Uh, he also mentioned that Roman Reigns will be starring in a new upcoming Street Fighter movie. He's actually going to be playing Akuma,
That's the rumor.
and Netflix viewership are down, which we kind of already touched on. So I put the title I put in here is TKO is gonna fuck around and find out. Because if you thought our truth was bad, you let Roman Reigns go. Like that would be the. You might as well just shut the company down. WWE 50 years in, you might as well shut them down if you get rid of Roman Reigns. Uh, and of course, the AEW crowd was already putting up like Roman Reigns is or Joe Anoa'i is all elite. So AEW was like, "Oh, please let this happen."
Well, Roman's barely been around since he lost the title, so what would it matter?
The idea that he would never come back,
Okay.
but this was just first. I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but do you think they're in the right to want to renegotiate his contract for being a part timer?
Yeah, I mean, they can ask. They can ask. Roman can say no.
And I think he will say no.
I mean, he's already under a contract, so he doesn't have to renegotiate anything. I think it's a little silly to like if it's just a year, like you said, then yeah, I think that's silly.
Well,
But
they're trying to. Mhm.
I see a whole bunch of people blaming TKO for the deal, but I think that was a Vince thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a Vince deal. Yeah, right before the sell, I think Vince made that
It's
deal.
and it's very normal for whenever there's a buyout or companies buy another entity that they try to trim as much fat as they can.
Yeah, because they're trying to recoup their money.
Yeah, they basically just want the product. They want to get their own people in.
Yeah. Now I am seeing that maybe they're like gearing up to sell for some reason.
Okay.
Like they're reselling WWE to someone else. That's why they're
What if
making
they
all these
sell to
budget cuts.
What if they sell to Vince?
That'd be something.
That would be a fucking mind blow.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Oh, he just you just see the back of his head in one Raw, and then he turns around and goes, "Checkmate, motherfuckers,"
Or give his old evil smile.
and just
I
laugh.
told you I'd be back.
Where's my intern?
But yeah, that's it would be something if they just got it and they're already looking to sell. But I don't know. For yes, it was a Vince deal that Roman Reigns signed the contract, and good for him. You know, it's about what you can negotiate. It's it's not what you're worth; it's what you can negotiate. I think is the saying there.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's that far out of line for them to want to negotiate. But I don't know if
it doesn't hurt to ask. I
yeah,
don't
Roman
think.
Reigns is probably going to say no.
There you
Why
go.
would he say yes? Oh, why would I want you to? I'm locked into this contract. Why would I? Why would
And
I
I
want
only
to do
have a
that?
year left.
Yeah, and even he said that after his contract, he's probably he's either gonna sign. I don't know. He's not gonna be full time anymore after his contract. He said that.
He's not full
So,
time now.
well, I mean, like you know, he's making the jump to Hollywood.
Good luck.
Well, let's see how this Akuma thing plays out. He might do pretty good. I haven't seen. I think he's only been in one movie, and that was Fast and the Furious.
Of course.
And I don't even know like if he had a line in that. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make the jump to Hollywood, follow the John Cena and the Rock route.
I don't think so. I think Cena's unique because he'll make fun of himself.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how they typecast him.
That's true too. Maybe he's Aquaman's cousin.
Or if you listen to Cat Williams, he said, they're gonna put you in a dress and
Yeah, you got to do a humiliation ritual.
yeah. Where I see Roman Reigns in a damn dress. Like, Oos, what are you doing?
That's remember that awards show that Cena showed up naked in?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be his humiliation ritual.
Oh no, he wore a dress in one of his movies.
What movie?
Ricky Stenicki,
Oh,
which is actually kind of funny.
Eminem wore a dress.
Yeah. Because he wasn't Cat Williams wasn't lying. They're gonna put you in a dress. But and now it like sticks out. Like anytime I see like someone in a dress, it's like, oh, he said it. But yeah, that is gonna do it. One last thing here. Uh, we have some new information about whether or not this was work.
Oh Jesus!
This one now, where did it go? So we had Kathy Kelly, uh, again, backstage reporter. So
Oh, is she crying again?
no, that was the one before. But our new source of information comes from within the household. I'll drop it at the very bottom. Within the house of R-Truth. It is his own very son, his blood. And apparently he responded to Triple H's claim that R-Truth's release was all part of the show by saying "Stop the cap." So
Whoa! This guy said that his son said that. I don't see where his son said
just
that.
trust.
I'm supposed to trust elite rockers.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Okay, hold on. Now we're gonna have to find it. R-Truth's son. First of all,
Yeah, first of all, he's a Bray Wyatt fan, so I don't think we should be able to trust him. I don't think his judgment is sound.
hold on. We got other people saying it. So we got Fightful. They're pretty credible. R-Truth's son congratulate his dad on his new deal. Right, stop the cap in response to Triple H's comments about Truth's return. So
Clearly, his son's in on
it. By the way, so in these young kids now, stop the cap means stop lying. That's the lingo there.
His son's keeping up a kayfabe.
He's in on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So even his son, man, you're really keeping it in the business. If you, even at your household with the cameras off, you're still keeping it alive.
Sergeant Slaughter did it for years.
Where is this kid at? Christopher Killings. I mean, you got to really be. How did you get this information? I guess people send it to you. Like, I would hope that people are not following R-Truth's son.
R-Truth's son probably told somebody important, and then everybody else was running with it after that important person shared it.
Oh, it was a tweet and delete. That's why I
was
can't
it?
find it. Yeah, he posted it on his Instagram story and then deleted it. But now,
Oh, so he's
now
just a
he's
shit
learned-
stirrer.
Now he's learned that you put something on the internet, it's there forever.
Yeah, it's true.
It never goes away. Go ahead and add that to the Archer story, by the way. And on that note, because that yeah, even though we don't have the picture or anything, but on that note, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all the social medias. We're gonna be back on more social medias, I can predict. And we had up to I just want to say we've had a good week. We had a lot of people on our last couple videos. We were up to like 8 people in the live.
That's not
So
something to brag about.
what? 8 people?
Yeah. I
That
mean,
is something to brag about.
we appreciate the views. Don't get me wrong, but
We got 2 people right now, so go ahead and go ahead and make a full. Hmm. I mean, if those people were on Twitch, we would have been well, they didn't comment. But if they were there and commented, we would have been monetized on Twitch. So just keep
What?
that in perspective.
Hmm.
That would have gotten us monetized. That right there. Anyway, is there anything else?
I just think we should recognize Triple H in the WWE creative for the swerve of the century.
They put all this creative juice behind our truth.
And that explains why everything else sucks.
Yep. They they had to they just had to use all their brain power for our truth.
They had to stop everything for truth.
Yeah. You think it was the Saturday night main event that enlightened them to say, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
let's put the
I think this has been in like 2 years.
since WrestleMania,
Yeah.
let's get we're gonna create this elaborate story for our truth."
You know who really needs a chance in the spotlight? Who? Our truth. But we're going to fire him first.
We're gonna do this fake firing angle, and and everybody's gonna get fooled. Everybody.
We're not going to tell anybody. Well, it's just like when they bring people in and they don't tell anybody. I did not know he was going to be back. I was hiding in the bathroom the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't even tell. Well, that's an actual true story. CM Punk. I didn't even tell my wife.
Yeah.
I just
See?
showed up. But yeah. Is there anything else?
That's all I got.
All right.
Good
well,
job, Triple
on
H.
that note, in the words of Kenny Omega, I bid you adieu, everybody. So good night, mwah, and good night, or goodbye, bang. I don't know. But actually, as I would say, is survey says one more for the good guys.
How you got to do 2 outros?
I'll do as many outros as I want to.